Right, so you're going to join me on this look at the Phoenix canariensis. It is January the 2nd, fairly bright day, temperature's about 4 or 5 degrees, and this is what you're looking at here is the biggest Phoenix canariensis I've got. So this one's, I think I said in a previous video, has been in the ground maybe about 8 years. Last 3 years really kicked in some growth. I really like these palms. They're easy to get hold of, they're fairly cheap. This particular one started off life in a pot. It is maybe 1.5 foot tall. I bought two together, had them in pots for 2 or 3 years, didn't really do anything. Put this one in the ground, and again, like most palms, you got the sleep, creep and then leap theory. So first year they sleep, second year they creep, third year they leap. Well, this, I'm guessing third year it did start to grow. I'd say the 5th year, the winter we had was pretty poor, really cold, and it did spear pull. I thought that was the end of it, but didn't do anything with it, just left it to its own devices. And that year, that summer, that really did push out. And like I say, last 2 years it's pretty much doubled in size. So obviously spear pull is not the end of a palm, it's not a good sign obviously, but the interesting thing is though, this is, I did mention I had 2 in pots. This is one of them, and the other one in a pot I put in the ground maybe a year later, and I'll quickly run you down to that. Let's go over the bridge here. And so, bearing in mind the one we just looked at, the big one, it's probably 8 foot. This one was the one I got at the same time. A lot of the leaves died back, but as you can see, it's not dead, but it just doesn't grow. It's pretty much sat there dormant for the last 3-4 years. But we'll see. I did plant another one in front of it. At the beginning of this year I got several at real bargain price. This one I paid £2.50 for from Home Base. They had 3 of them that said £10 on the tag, so I bought one, came up as £2.50, went back and got the other 2. And then shortly after the lockdown, which was in March, B&M said they were doing 50% off all their outdoor plants, so I bought another 2. So these were £8 and they were down to £4. So at that price, I'll whack them in pots. This one's slightly smaller, very healthy. New fronds coming out. Again, I really do like these palms. They're real stiff leaves, well, to the point where they could be dangerous. You can have your eye out on these quite easily, but they look good as long as you got them in a sensible position. So, are they hardy to the UK? Well, depends whereabouts in the UK you are. I happen to be in Lowestoft, Suffolk, which is the most easterly point in the UK, and I probably live within a mile of the sea, so we don't get extreme colds. We get a lot of cold winds coming off the North Sea, but we don't get that many frosts. I know last winter I counted 5 frosts This year we've already had 6, but the last couple of nights it's been just above freezing. In the past I have wrapped fleece, or not fleece, but frost protection blanket around the trunk and stuffed it with leaves, which, well, it's still alive, so it obviously worked. But like I say, the beast from the east, 3 winters ago, it was minus maybe 4 or 5 for at least a week, and that's the spear pool situation. But again, like I say, that summer afterwards really did just explode. So yeah, that's done well. Like I say, I've got several of these around the garden. None is, this is the biggest. These do get huge, so we'll see. I will be cutting some of the lower fronds off this year because they do come out getting away a bit, so we'll keep it a bit more compact if we can. But yeah, so like I say, where I am, we very rarely get a frost in the winter, to be fair. And when we do, it's maybe only 1 or 2 nights on a trot, and we seem to get good bounce back temperatures during the day, if the sun's out, that is. So yeah, that's a quick overview of that. I hope you found that informative, and I'll see you on the next one.